So a couple of things now. First off, the lab report is due on Friday at 8:30 in the morning. Okay, so make sure that yours is submitted on Google Classroom by 8:30 a.m. on Friday. Okay, the rest of the lab report is just figuring out which compound is which. Right, that's down in your analysis. Okay, so you have all of the properties up here. You just got to write in here. Was A ionic or molecular? And what is it? Okay, the what is it, remember, comes from your materials. Right, so you find out what it is, okay, and you write the name, chemical formula, okay, write it in here. Everybody with me on that? All right, then you've got your conclusion. That remember, for your conclusion, you're restating your hypothesis, just copy and paste it, and then were you able to do what you predicted? Were you able to identify all of these? Did they all have different physical properties? That was all the stuff we talked about. Can you accept that or reject it? Is that what happened? Okay, so make sure that you talk about all of that stuff in your conclusion. Then, for your evaluation, sources of error in the lab and how you could eliminate them. Okay, certainly we had small amounts of everything. That could have been difficult. Okay, you think of things that may have interfered with you being able to get good data that are not human error. Okay, remember we talked about that on Friday. You contaminating one of the samples and not doing anything about it is human error. Okay, it's not a source of error from within the experiment. Now, in terms of getting the analysis done, okay, my tips would be as follows. Make sure you look over the notes from lesson 4. A lot of the stuff you need is there in lesson 4. All right? We also talked about a few other things to do with solubility on Friday. That could be helpful. Don't be afraid to, talk to each other about what you think everything is. And on top of that, don't be afraid to Google it. I mean, I can't stop you from doing that. But if you want to, if you've looked through your notes and you still can't figure it out, and you can't figure out which one of them is paraffin, for example, Google physical properties of paraffin. I mean, you're supposed to be trying to figure out which thing's which. That's not cheating. Okay? Whatever you got to do to figure out which thing is which, that's what you got to do. Okay? But that's what needs to go in there. So Friday, 8:30 is when it's due. Make sure it's submitted by then. All right, you don't want to take a late penalty, so make sure that it's done. All right, we still have about 9 minutes or so I would say maybe talk to your group members and figure out which thing is which. Now would be a good time. It's fresh in your mind.